American Express is an absolute gold mine. We're talking about the ability to have anywhere from 14 to 16 cards with American Express at one time. Data points suggest that it's somewhere between 4 and 6 credit cards on top of 10 charge cards at one time. Alongside that, American Express made an acquisition of Cabbage a few years back, at which point they've been flaunting a business line of credit that you can get anywhere from $2K to $250K on that side of the equation. So with that being the case, the question is, if you had to pursue up to $250,000 in funding or spending power with American Express, which pathway is going to be the most rewarding and the lowest barrier of entry between credit card stacking with American Express or the business line of credit with American Express? Now, let's be abundantly clear. There's nothing stopping you from pursuing both. But when you're getting on the pathway of somewhere in the proximity of $100,000 or more, $200,000 or more in funding with a single financial institution, you're gonna be sure that you're gonna have to jump through some hoops because that's some pretty serious capital. So I wanna give you the pathway that's gonna give you the least resistance and the highest rewards. In order to do that, what we're gonna do is compare and contrast the credit card lineup from the business line of credit. This is an intent to help save you some time and hopefully a headache on your road to maximum capital. So looking at the similarities between the business line of credit and the personal and business credit card lineup, both of them are gonna provide you with purchasing power. That's an important thing to keep in mind. You're gonna be able to spend in the majority of standard ways of spending between both lineups. The next feature or factor to keep in mind is that you're gonna have to have good credit and an active relationship with American Express to get the best results on either. Speaking of the relationship with American Express, once you've gone through your first hard pull and have acquired your first card with American Express, ideally on the personal side, because if you go in on the business side first, they will pull you again for the personal side. You can from that point be pretty confident you will not incur any more hard inquiries for pretty much any of their lending products up to the date of this recording. That could change in the future, but at this point in time, once you get in the door with them and keep a healthy relationship, American Express gathers data in a way where it typically doesn't need to hard pull your report again. You also can keep in mind that you'll only pay for what you use on both options. So that basically means whether it's a credit card with a $30,000 or $40,000 credit limit and you use 10 grand, or a business line of credit with a $30,000 or $40,000 credit limit and you use 10 grand, you're gonna only pay for that 10 grand, generally speaking. Now, before we dive into the differences to help you discern where you should be focusing your energy, let's get a little bit of an intro in and let me tell you about an opportunity for you to support this channel. So let's get into it. This is JP, the financial architect and the creator behind Blueprint for Prosperity Network, a channel started part-time in December of 2022 and has already amassed over 5,000 subscribers and over 6 figures in views. And I couldn't be more honored to have become one of the favorite finance creators available on YouTube right now. That having been said, it's time for this channel to graduate to another plateau. I've realized that there's a high demand for what I have to offer, and now it's time to advance the long-term projections for this channel and myself. The goal is to be able to conduct more one-on-one consultations, as well as live in-person events in your backyard around the country. The goal is also to start that plan by putting out more long-term content, including more live streams where I answer you guys questions directly and cover more pressing financial topics as the economy shapes around us. Now, we know we can get access to some serious capital with American Express, as we've seen, a ton of credit card and charge card options and a pretty significant size line of credit. Now, where do these products differ that are gonna help weed out or discern where we're gonna wanna focus our energy while stacking up this capital with American Express? One difference is your line of credit will actually give you standard cash access where your credit cards and charge cards will not. Yes, they both give you purchasing power, but only your line of credit is literally designed to go into your business bank account as cash. In today's world, of course, there's tactics and strategies to liquidate credit cards and charge cards, but that's not how they're designed. So there's gonna be some hoops, and it's usually gonna be expensive in some form or fashion to do so. The next factor is you will likely get several credit cards and charge card approvals before needing to supply documentation or link a bank account. You will likely immediately have to provide documentation and link your business bank account to qualify for the business line of credit. So if you're looking for a more no-doc-like option, credit cards and charge cards are definitely gonna be the way to go. You can get pretty deep into American Express's ecosystem without having to provide them proof of income or other documentation, generally speaking. The next factor you're going to want to look at as a deferment between the two is you do not need an official business to stack personal or business credit cards with American Express. It is well known that you can go the sole proprietorship route on the business credit cards and get approved just fine with American Express. That is not the case with the business line of credit with American Express. The business line of credit with American Express requires you to have an active business with a separate EIN and a separate business bank account. Once you look to hit the threshold of $150,000 on that business line of credit, you have to meet a special criteria to qualify for that. They make it explicitly clear on the website that you will have to meet a special criteria, meaning a deep relationship with American Express and a higher FICO score than below 150 require with American Express. With credit card stacking, that is not likely the case. If you are using your credit cards effectively with American Express, you're making on-time payments, paying down on a healthy level, as long as you're continuing to spend, you can quite likely get $150,000 in limits and or spending power with American Express without having to meet a special criteria to do so. So, the next thing to keep in mind is that your credit cards will allow you to earn rewards and cashbacks in the form of statement credits with American Express, and your business line of credit as you spend on it will not. Credit cards will only at worst case have an annual fee, while your business line of credit, once you incur a balance on it, will have monthly fees during the time of that balance. Another factor that differs between the credit card lineup and the business line of credit is the business line of credit has a fixed term. Right now, at the time of this recording, it's as far out as 24 months before full repayment is required. That's a pretty short window of time on a business line of credit, especially the higher the loan amount or line amount you're lent. When you think about the repayment terms, that basically means for that shorter window of time, you're going to have a higher minimum payment. The credit card stacking process is not quite going to add up like that because there's no defined time to pay the credit cards off in full. Now, with the charge cards, there is. Typically speaking, you need to pay your charge cards off by the end of the statement cycle, unless you plan to set an installment plan out on those charge cards. So generally speaking, you're going to have a lower minimum payment requirement on your business or personal credit cards than you will on your business line of credit. So when you look at this and take a look at the last features required on the business line of credit, you need to be 18 or older for the business line of credit. You need to have a business that's been established for at least a year, a minimum FICO score of 660 at the time of the application, and have at least $3,000 in revenues in order to apply. They're also recommending you to have your EIN number ready, social security number, the industry your business is participating or functioning in, and an estimated annual gross revenue for your business. So as you can see, this is not going to be the same threshold for business credit cards or personal credit cards. Minus being 18, needing a social security number, you pretty much are going to check the box other than the FICO requirements. And of course, an income. Your business line of credit is just a higher barrier of entry, less reward, but it will give you cash access if that's something in particular that you need. So when you really line these two product lineups up and you think about getting somewhere in the proximity of $250,000 in funding from American Express, credit card stacking is definitely going to have more pros than cons. But the business line of credit has a powerful pro in giving you cash access. Now, if you have an established business with healthy revenues and a good relationship with American Express, then clearly I advocate you go for both. But for those of you who may not be in that situation and you needed to have a little clarity on which route is going to be the most rewarding and you're going to get to that six figures in funding or access capital or spending power with American Express the fastest and the easiest, credit card stacking with American Express is going to be the way to go. So I want you to comment down below. Let me know what your experience with American Express credit card lineup and if you have any experience with their business line of credit. Let me know what your thoughts are on pursuing these different pathways. Would you pursue both? Would you pick one over the other? And let me know why in the comment section down below. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want each and every one of you to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you can support this channel, so this channel can continue to support you. You've already heard of a new opportunity, a revolutionary opportunity to support this channel beyond just likes, comments, shares, or even donations. You have an opportunity to take some of your excess capital to invest in this channel and share in the revenue and the profitability of this channel along the way. Revolutionary opportunity. Check the description down below to gauge your interest so we can know how to move forward with this fundraising campaign. Other than that, I want each of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.